Okay, everybody, we promised you that we'd have Grandpa on a video, right?
Yes.
Well, I have been MIA. I intended to get in the last one, just didn't feel like it.
Well, you have a good excuse.
So I figured, well, we'll put my picture on there to make sure everybody knew I was still alive. And I'll tell you one thing for sure, we got a bunch of people out there that don't tell the truth. You know why? Because they told me I look good, and I know better. I don't look good.
You didn't know where he was going with that, did
This is the
you?
longest I've ever seen Grandpa wear pajama pants. I
We
don't know
don't-
if I've ever seen him wear pajama pants.
Yeah, we don't rehearse this stuff, by the way, and they never know where I'm going. No, I do appreciate that y'all said I look good, but folks, I started out at
Wait, you started out at 183 when you went into the
Right,
hospital.
right.
You were at 168 yesterday. He's lost weight.
I've lost weight.
Well, of course.
So I can't lose much more or I will disappear. So anyway, thanks for telling me I look good, but y'all need to get glasses. Right now, when I look in the mirror, I don't look good.
You look great. For
You know?
somebody who just went through open heart surgery, I think you look fantastic.
Well, you know, I
Give
don't,
yourself enough credit for...
yeah, this isn't an animal video. I just want to give everybody hey, here's an update on where I'm at.
We came home with a whole bunch of these, and I'm thinking, well, how do I know what he's supposed to take, when he's supposed to take? So I was going through all the paperwork that they sent from the hospital and the discharge papers, and guess what? They give you a whole list of the medications, when they're supposed to take them. There's sheets on each one of them that tells what they do. The only thing they left out is what happens if something goes wrong and it does something it's not supposed to do. And that's kind of what we encountered a little bit. And, you know, I'm thinking it's the warfarin that he's on. A lot of you have commented on that, and you know how they have to get it just right.
There's a therapeutic number
Yeah.
of 2 to 3, but warfarin and we didn't know. Maybe I'm on a 80 milligram statin, and really those are the two biggies right now.
Yeah.
And it caused some, one of the main side effects, just to be honest with you, it caused some major digestive problems where everything I ate was lasting about 5 minutes. And it's been doing that every day since I've been home. And that, for me, I can't stand that. That only makes me weaker, and it makes me lose weight. Well, I can't get stronger and gain weight without eating. You know, I can't live on toast and oats. And a lot of you have already experienced all this. This is all new to me. As the airing of this video, they gave me some Imodium, AD,
You've only been on it since yesterday.
since yesterday. So it'll be a couple days, right, yeah. And that has worked. That is, what it does is it slows your intestines, the contracting of food through your intestines down so that the food can be absorbed into your body. Yeah, Mom takes
you
my,
went back up in weight.
He did today.
I did today. I
He
mean,
gained 1.4 pounds
So
today.
you should be ecstatic.
well,
Yeah.
I felt a lot better today than I have. I got some steak down yesterday, had some filet mignon and some baked potato. And prior to that, it was toast and oats and,
Oatmeal, yeah.
you know, man, this guy, I can't live on that stuff. But Grandma has kept track of everything.
Well, they told me I had to. I had instructions in there.
Yeah.
Take temperature and weight every day.
It's not been easy. It's not what I thought it was going to be. Without these two,
Mom.
everybody has played their part. But Mom, I can see the halo. I think there's been a couple times she may have wished I was still in the hospital. I'm not sure. I mean,
Well-
one of the biggest challenges, we all know, Grandma's going to get her turn here in a minute, was the aftercare and my attitude and lack of.
If you think that Mom
Patience.
didn't know after 40 plus years of marriage how this might go,
Well, we teased about it. We teased about it
Exactly right.
before I had the surgery, that would be the most difficult part. It is proving to be that. Now, with the addition of this physical issue that I've had since I've been home, I'm hoping it changes now that we've kind of got a medicine for that. You know, that's been a very, very difficult thing to deal with.
Surgery itself went really good and went quicker than I thought it was going to. They give you this little number, and a lot of you probably know this, but they give you this number, and that's what's assigned to him. And I had a board that I could watch, and it told me when he was in pre-op still and when he was in surgery, and so I was watching that like, you know, a hawk. And the hospital where we were at, they give the chaplains the responsibility of coming around and giving updates. So our chaplain was Joe. Joe came around, introduced himself to me, and he said, I'll be updating you about every hour. And I said, okay, and this was before anything. This was after we were in pre-op. They took him on in, and I went down into this waiting room. I looked up, and it said, in surgery. So I knew they had taken him in. That was like at 8:04, I think. And I thought, well, the doctor said 3 to 4 hours. So, I was kind of prepared for a long morning. He said, prepare for the morning. And it was about 10:20, and I hadn't had any kind of updates from Joe yet, and I'm getting a little antsy, and all of a sudden I've been looking down at my phone, and all of a sudden I heard my name, and I looked up, and there was the doctor, and the lady at the surgery desk had called my name, and we went into this consultation room, and I didn't even have time to stop and think, well, it hasn't been that long, from 8:04 to 10:20, and he said he's done. He said he did great, and he said, he said the valve could not be repaired, which we knew that, and he said we replaced it, and he told me he was going to be in ICU and that they would show me how to get down there, and he told me to wait till about 11 o'clock to go see him, and he made it pretty clear that I wasn't going to get to stay, that they kind of wanted to keep him sedated for 7 to 8 hours. So I went down and I sat in the waiting room, and while I was there, Lori from All Creatures Farm and Rescue showed up and had brought me some items that she had when she was in, the hospital with Briar so much. And I tell you, I appreciated it so much, because just, seeing that face and the smile, and just knowing that, she was one that had prayed so faithfully, and it was really, really awesome. And the whole time we were there, she would call and say, hey, I'm coming in today for a doctor's appointment. Can I bring you something to drink? And Briar made some cookies for Ralph. They were delicious, Briar, by the way. So the surgery itself was great. The recovery, as far as in the hospital, was longer really than I think you thought it was going to be.
I was there 6 days. I'm not trying to be gross, but I think most of us here are about the same age. We're adults. For those of you that have been through this, you understand. You've got chest tubes, and you got a Foley catheter, and in my life, I was never going to have any of those things ever. That was not going to happen to me. So you wake up in CVICU, and you got all this stuff, and you're thinking, what in the world just happened? Now that the build-up to it was finally a reality, prior to that, you're just like living in some fantasy thing that you're going to wake up and go home in a couple of days. Now, everybody up there was fantastic. I need to get Kieran's pillow.
Yep.
Hang on a second.
He had some really fantastic nurses. Amazing nurses. And I think the second day in, when I went in, I could tell he was really agitated, and it seemed like it was more me that was agitating him than anybody. And I thought, man, I can't even say the sky's blue, so I thought maybe I just better leave and let him kind of hang out. And his nurse's name was Shelby that day, and she was amazing, and we had her all but one day, and she was really cool. Now, I wasn't there. You'll have to tell the story, because
there's another nurse there, a charge nurse, Karen, I apologize. We talked to her about the channel. Somehow it came up. And so she watched one of the videos.
I think Chad told everybody.
Chad told everybody. Yes, Chad. You'll have to help me out. So this is the clutch pillow. I have 2 plus the one Jody gave us. But this was my best buddy, like everybody said it would be. But Karen took this pillow and looked at the video, and I hope y'all can see this, but Grandpa Doss Farms, pictures of some of the animals. She drew this freehand, left some nice notes on it. A couple of nurses signed it. But
Karen came to visit you. Karen's husband had been in the hospital just down the hall when we got
that's
up
right.
on the regular floor.
Yeah.
He had been in the hospital for 34 days.
34 days.
And he got out, I believe, the day before you did, and got to go home for a little bit. I think he had to go back for surgery. But she came into his room, and she said, that it would possibly fade with as much as he was using it. She said, I'm going to go get you another one. So she left. She came back a little bit with a brand new one, so that we were able to keep that one nice and clean. And he was having trouble getting high enough up in his bed that his feet didn't hit the footboard. And she said, well, we have extensions for those. And she said, I'll get you an extension. 15 minutes later, this man walks in with an extension to the bed, and he puts it on there and gave Grandpa an extra foot on the bed. And she was just amazing. It was like she was taking care of him plus her husband.
And she would come in even when I went to a regular room a couple of times, and she had prayer with us. We did meet some amazing people who are also believers, and we'd talk to them, and Andrew was there, and I can't name everybody, but it's pretty amazing.
It was amazing.
So I did a lot of talking to Jesus while I was in there. tell you that. But Mom was right there the whole time, and so the hospital stay is what it is, you know. And so I was really glad to be home, but the recovery is going to take a little while. But in my absence, though, what Leanne and Matt and the other two boys have done can never repay.
I refuse to cry on camera. It's not happening. Cry all you want, I ain't doing it.
Mom going down and feeding the animals by herself, and I'm watching on camera, and it's hard for me to, and I've not been down there. I can't go down there yet. I'm a ways from going down there. I can't do it. I can't fall. You know, I'm on the warfarin and maxed out. I mean, I'm now a bleeding risk,
They tell
bruising,
him
bleeding.
that though, but then when they come in to check his what they call INR for this warfarin, they can't get enough blood out of his finger to
Yeah, my
test it.
fingers.
So that really doesn't make sense.
Well,
but
my fingers are cold because my blood is so thin. You know, it's so cold. So I have to really work at it. But they poked my fingers, folks. You know, I bet I was poked 100 times. Had 2 IVs in.
I bought him a chicken though from the gift store, and it's a chicken that you can put in
stuffed
the
chicken
microwave,
cloth.
warm it up, and then he can put his hands on there, and it warms his hands up. But it has lavender on it. Lavender is supposed to be soothing.
Sticky.
Worked the opposite with him. He couldn't handle the lavender.
Sticky.
We had to
you
get
know.
rid of the chicken.
Oh, Chick's here. She's over there. So anyway, the hospital stay is what it is. I had to stay 1 extra day because I had AFib. My heart rate was not stable yet, and I thought I was going to get out on Saturday. And they came in. Mom had just left, like at 7 o'clock at night. Came in and said, "Hey, dude, your heart is kind of racing." Well, racing to me at the time was like 80 to 100 beats a minute. Never get over 100, which most people it does. I thought, well, so they stuck me. I'd gotten the IVs not removed, but I wasn't hooked up to anything. I'll be darned, it's Saturday night, they didn't put me on an IV over here and an IV over here. And I was one miserable fella, not happy
He couldn't
at
wait
all.
for me to walk in the next morning, and he says, "I got these IVs again," you know, and he's just freaking out, and I'm thinking, "Oh Lord, why?"
Yeah, I mean, you talk about trying to sleep and have that going on in your head, thinking what's going on. But the AFib after this is normal.
They originally said that we were probably going to have to stay again. This was on Sunday. And because it wasn't over 100, and the nurse practitioner for Dr. Z came in and said, "Look, Dr. whatever the guy was that was covering, I can't pronounce his either, he just said, look, I think he'll recover better at home. I think he's, you know, he kind of reached that point where he was not sleeping no matter where he was at. So they decided to let us come home. And the kids were going to come up and follow us home or help us get home. And they couldn't have got there fast enough because I already had the car loaded. I mean, I had to take everything out by myself. And so I had it loaded in the car, just waiting for him to get the paperwork to him. And we headed out Sunday and made it home Sunday evening.
Yeah, I was sleeping in a chair, the bed, standing up, sleeping on the toilet. I don't know. I was
Wherever you could sleep.
Yep.
But anyway, got home, and then, of course, all this time, you know, Matt's been over here every night from 3:30, 3 o'clock till dark, taking care of everybody and feeding the animals and giving them treats and
Kissing the chickens night
night, doing things that
Beep, beep.
you know, just amazing. No, I'm not amazed by it. I knew he'd step up, but you know, it's a helpless feeling that I've never experienced in my life. And then to have people have to step in,
It's gonna feel a lot longer than it is.
and it's going to be a while.
It's only 2 months, but it feels a lot longer. Sorry.
Don't remind me.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, I feel like after such you know, what's the
Major
word?
ordeal.
A major ordeal. It's really not that. I understand though that, you know, you're inside, and all that, so I know it feels longer, but
It feels really long to me. 'Cause
I just feel like you're going to be back to it here soon. I promise.
There's a time frame. I really can't speed it up.
I know, but I was blown away. I thought you were going to be actually down and out more. I was shocked whenever you got home and you were walking around. You know, because I didn't know. I thought that you'd be.
Right.
So I have to say that it was an amazing sight to come in and you're getting up on your own, walking around. You don't even use the power chair every time.
No, I learned it's getting better and better there. I'm not convinced yet. They said my digestive issues could still be from anesthesia or the laxative they give me in there. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was the first week and that was pretty tough. It's better today, so I'm hoping now that I can gain some weight and get some strength. I have cardio rehab scheduled August 27th.
Well, they came to
Right.
the house. Home health came. Physical therapy came. A company that the home health hires to draw the blood came. I mean, that first week, I think there was somebody here every day.
Just about.
Physical therapy came in, and the guy had him do a bunch of stuff, and he said, look, he goes, I'm not even going to sign you up, because he said, really, the only thing you need to work on is endurance. And he goes, that's natural. He said, you're going to have to just, and he said, when you get into cardio rehab, that'll take care of a lot of that. So
I still think and believe that the shape I was in prior to has helped me to keep after it. But, to go from 110 miles an hour down to 0 and then have to come back. Dr. Z said 8 weeks in a day you'll be able to do what you did before. Well, that's not going to happen. I may have my energy back, I may have some strength back and some weight, but to exercise and to go out there and do all the things I was doing, that's going to be a few months. I really believe it is. That's kind of how I got my head set right now.
that's good. That's good to be that way.
Yes, because of the way I feel. Yes, sir.
But I think as you get closer to the end of it, you'll start to get that strength back before you know what I mean? It's not just going to be like, okay, all of a sudden you have all the freedom you had before, so therefore, don't get me wrong, you're going to have to wait until the doctor says you're good, but I'm just saying, I think that right there's huge, putting 1.5 pounds back on. And
well, that's been my thing. I haven't been able to gain weight, and I knew for me, when I lose weight, well, anybody, I lose weight, I'm down. I was afraid I'd get dehydrated and end up back in the hospital, because I've heard that horror story many times. So I'm on an IV of Gatorade right now. No, just kidding. A lot of Gatorade, but Mom has been my, the rock here for me, and
it's true.
Waiting on me, hand and foot, and then Matt stepping up like he has. Chad came over, he got the chair. Yeah, he took care of Bella. Sorry, it's up and down. I think emotional, physical, whatever you want to call it. I don't care.
That's part of it too.
I'm not a crybaby, but
that's part of it too. I've researched all that because I thought, man, he hasn't cried this much in 44 years, but that's part of it.
So it doesn't mean I'm not going to be a turd afterwards, though.
I know.
And that doesn't mean I'm not going to be better.
I researched that too. So it's still going to be a turd.
Yeah, so Kyle has come over, and Shannon, she picked some things out of the garden. But Mom gets up every morning, goes down, does the animals, and believe me, I can't wait to take that all away from her and Matt. I can't wait to do that. But she does that, and she comes home and still has a couple of clients she's trying to take care of. And Matt's in the process of getting Grandma hooked up here at home, so she doesn't even have to go to the office. And so I know that's a burden for Mom too. But I just really appreciate the whole family stepping up.
It's good that we're kind of a combination of personalities, though, because Matt and I both know that we're not good with animals that are sick and how to take care of them after they, expire. And I mean, we were standing there that night, and both of us trying to decide if Bella was breathing or not. And I looked at him and I said, "Call Chad." And so he got Chad on the phone. And,
right.
It's just one of those things that I don't know that I'll ever be able to do that.
But Mom has cleaned the chicken coop out. Matt cleaned the chicken coop out.
I just tell them.
Syringed Bella, water by mouth. I mean, things, folks, that I've done and would do, and not hardly bat an eye at it. And I tell you what, for somebody to come in who's never done those kind of things before and do that, you don't know how impressive that is. That is very impressive if you had to do that.
You know what's impressive?
And, what's that?
That you ever clean that coop without a mask. I'm putting like 6 on, so I don't have to smell.
Well,
the only thing I have not been able to do when they're broody, I can't get them off the...
Yeah, well, we only had one today, and I think she was laying an egg, so I left her in there.
Well, I thought so too, because I opened the door on the outside of the coop, and she looked at me like this, and I said, "Are you broody or laying an egg?" And she just looked at me, and I said, "Good enough," and I just closed the door and left her in there.
I may never get their names right, but I do know which one's which,
May West, right?
Yeah, I don't know who was in there today. That one was too big to be May West, I think.
But going down there and doing all that, I mean, I know those animals are growing. I can't wait to pet them, but I can't go down there. This Coumadin's going to keep me. I'm a bleeder right now, and at least until the end of October. That's Halloween. I'll be on this. So even when I get back to where I can go down, I'll have to be very careful. I don't know if I can go unaccompanied or not. And you know me, Grandma will tell you, I can cut myself and bleed just walking from here to the pen.
Well, you're going to have to wear long pants.
I'll have to wear long pants, and may have to wear some kind of a longer shirt, and I can't fall. I mean, it's going to, they're so much still to go, but it's okay. It's better. It's better.
Some of you have commented too, please don't let Grandma go into the pig pen. But now, unfortunately, without Bella, we just have the two, and I'm not having to step over. Sometimes I do if I can't get Lola to figure out where the food is in my hands, but I can put Olivia's down while I'm still on the other side of the fence, then step in and give it to Lola. So it's a lot easier now, and I hate that it has to be that way.
Yeah,
but,
it's very sad, and we tried our best to get a vet out here, folks. We tried, and
we did.
Let me tell you something about this area right now, and Chad and I talked about it. We are not in a rural county here. I'm in the city, basically. We have a dog and a cat vet every corner, but we are poor for farm animals, and so you either take care of them yourself or you just beg somebody to come out, and you are at their mercy. And I was at the mercy of one vet to where 2 days in a row they didn't come out, and I'd ask them to and get back in touch, and they never did. I'm not saying it's their fault. I think there were some bigger issues, but that's kind of how we are here with the farm animals. So we try to do the best we can, and it does break my heart about Bella.
Well,
but
she had turned around from the first time
did.
she was sick.
Right.
And I talked about it. It was different symptoms.
Than the lungworm.
Yeah.
I agree. So I don't know what happened, but they took the diatomaceous earth down there, spread it all around. So for right now, they have taken hold of this and just manhandled, and Grandma handled the animals and all the chores. And Matt goes out at night, counts the chickens, makes sure Mags is tucked in, and kisses all of them goodnight.
Mags is actually just as worried that you're tucked in, so.
Shuts the gates down. That's what's funny, though.
make
Here's what's
sure.
really funny. During the day, for some reason, the chickens now are all over the front yard.
All over.
And they are all over the front porch and in the flowers. They are everywhere up here. And Grandma's always out talking to them. And I swear they're doing it on purpose, knowing I'm out there. They have just cranked up the nuisance.
I'm past the water gun now.
Yeah.
I'm now using the jet stream on the hose.
Yeah, she just hoses them down. I mean, they are taking advantage of all kinds of
I
things.
tried that with Olivia too. I stepped in one night trying to take care of Bella, and I thought, well, I'll just turn the hose on her if she gets too close to me. She doesn't care. She just comes right at you, even with. So the chickens are a little more fearful of the hose than any of the other animals, but they're all doing good.
One thing physically that I thought was interesting is that prior to this surgery, probably for, good grief, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, I've always had a very low heart rate. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a runner. Most marathon runners' heart rates may be in the 50s. And that's a lot of running. But even when I had that Holter monitor on, my heart rate, every time I go to the doctor, it could be 52, 50. It dropped down to 37 beats a minute per one night. Even up the hospital, it was 48. Mm. And they're going, they had to up the medication, right? Or turn the thing down.
They turned the monitor down because it kept going off. She had it set at 40, and it would go below 40 several times.
Right.
And it kept going off, and she'd come in, and she finally said, what's his normal heart rate? And I told her, and I said, and it's been running low, so she adjusted the machine.
And it's been that way for years. Well, turns out that's not cool. So I think I've had this, because he did kind of emphasize that valve was shot.
Well, they had to use a pacemaker, a temporary pacemaker, after they replaced the valve because they wanted the heart rate to be higher. Sorry.
So now it's kind of weird that everything's fixed. I bought a little, it's called a pulsometer, oxygen and pulse. I think it's called a poxometer. I got it off Amazon, and they tested me every day with a finger, and my heart rate has been the lowest I've gotten it sitting down in that chair is 63.
Yeah.
It won't go below 63. Normally it's 66, 67. I assume now that's the new norm.
That's what they want to be the new
That's what they want it to be. I've never been that low. So I've had a problem.
Never been that high.
Yeah.
Never been that high, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
If I got to 66 resting, well, I wouldn't. I would have thought there's a problem. But if it goes too low, that's worse. So apparently I've had this for a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. And
lucky.
Very blessed. God is blessed, yes, that this all came down when it did. So now that's kind of the new norm for me. But, I quit taking pain meds 3 days after the operation, pretty much, 3.5, something like that. The pain here has never been a problem. I thought I'd come out with about a 4 to 6 inch incision, and it's 9 inches long.
And yes, he measured it.
Yeah, I measured. Well,
But at
they
least-
measured it. I think it was 22 and a half centimeter, 23. It's almost 9 inches. I'm going to call it 9.
It's because your upper body's long.
You know, so anyway, they did all that, and we get by this digestive issue, which I think we're there now. We may try changing medicine for morphine if we're going to call the insurance company, right?
Yeah, they told us that they could put him on Eliquis, which I'm not sure. Maybe they don't do that because it's supposed to be more expensive. But I'm not sure at this point I care so much about the expense because he's only going to be on it through October anyway.
Right.
But I went to pick up another prescription this morning for him, and they couldn't run it without a script, so I got to call our.
Yeah, we've got to call and find out.
A lot of comments have come in about, hey, follow doctor's orders, and I want to say he's doing great at that. Mom and him are teamed up, and they are doing an awesome job, and Dad's not rushing anything. He's following doctor's orders, as they say, right?
Right. I do have that lift chair. People have been asking about the lift chair. We don't even know what brand it is. I don't know. It came
just
from one of our
works.
local furniture stores. It works well. I've slept in it. I cannot lay down yet because my head has to be higher than my rear end or the heart or whatever.
But you're getting close. You're getting close.
So anyhow, so I hope that I just want
I'm putting all
everybody.
the positivity interjections I can.
Yeah.
Head higher than his rear end.
Yes. So you saw the videos where
That's a whole
everybody.
other problem.
Yeah.
Right there.
If you're going to say it out loud, say it where everybody can hear it.
The Emotum AD took care of that problem.
Yeah,
Keep
exactly.
your head above your heart now.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I've had enough gas to fill a hot air balloon around the world. So,
Edit.
well, I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, be careful
A lot of
walking down
you-
that hallway.
Yeah,
It's
a
filled
lot
with
of
gas.
you know what I'm experiencing. You've gone through it. I hope I don't have to do this again. It is.
You better
It has
not.
it has been a challenge. It really has, and still more to come. So I'm
I
just
will
hoping
say
Grandma
this.
does not have to put a muzzle on me before it's over. Yes, sir.
I am so happy we're in the recovery phase because the surgery is what was freaking me and everybody out. And I know it was you, Mom, everybody. But the fact that that part all went well, and now it's just you versus time and healing,
Yeah.
I like that much better than thinking
Oh,
about
I-
you going into
Me
surgery.
too.
Oh, I
because
agree.
honestly, the surgery could not have gone better.
Right?
Right.
And the balance of the medicine is a normal thing also. It's not just him. Everybody goes through this, having to get that therapeutic. They use these terms like we know what they are. And finally one day I said, what do you mean when you say therapeutic? And it was the nurse practitioner and he explained it. But it's a common thing. They just have to get that right. And AFib is normal after a heart valve replacement. And
And you all saw all the mixed nuts and everything I have there, folks. Oh,
I haven't
my
shown
word.
it yet, but you'll see it at the end like we did last time. I just took a video. I tell you the funniest thing. Matt was going to go to the post office for us. He went before we left and that's what we showed you on the last video. So I told him, I said, hey, you're working on my computer. Let me go today to the post office, thinking that there wouldn't be, they put these keys in your post office box if you have additional packages. I had 6 keys. So I'm thinking I've got 6 more packages besides all these wonderful cards that all of you all, and I'm dead serious. I have read every one of them. He hasn't seen them yet, but I got cards thinking of you. Dad got cards, get well soon. You guys got stuff in the mail.
You got a monetary gift in one of them last time, right?
Yeah, but I was so overwhelmed by the verses and the things that people wrote. Man, guys, it was very uplifting today. I was sitting there by myself because I forget, maybe you were showering and you had gone to get our food or whatever, but I was just blown away. All of the prayers and
We have been. I think Grandma had mentioned last video that I had not been on my phone for 6 days, 5 days. Haven't watched a video. My brain just could not tolerate. I hadn't watched TV, nothing. I just wanted it dark and quiet. Coming home, I started reading more comments. And I still have not watched any videos that any of the kids have made or anybody.
That's okay.
I can't do it yet.
You focus on you.
I can't do it yet, and I'll probably never catch up. But, when Mom touches on what you guys have done and the comments and all the prayers and things going on in your own lives, I wanted to wear, I should have, he's got one of the Keep Strong, Pray On. I ordered 2 shirts, Pray On. I can't wear T-shirts yet. I can only wear things that button up, but I'm really excited about wearing those T-shirts on camera. I was going to get one and just hold it up here, but so thank you all for all your support, and I can't even
Kathy,
I can't even put it into words, you know. And people do stuff like this, and praying for you. It's humbling, and you know, God has been so good to me and to our family, and you know, you tend to be focus more on yourself in a situation like this. I never felt sorry for myself. Grandma has seen me down.
But I don't let him be sorry for himself. I don't allow it.
It's just, I think, the emotion of the surgery, and
nice.
you know, it's just a whole new experience for me. I'm not used to being dependent on anybody to go out and do stuff, and I know it's going to still be a little bit longer. So, but we wanted to put this video out there, at least let you know here I am. I don't, you know, but as far as when I'm going to go out there and do that chicken dance again, you know.
Wormy dance. You got to get it right if you're going to do it.
Yeah, and you can only laugh so much, by the way.
Yeah.
But my mobility is a little better. I'm getting out of chairs, not a problem. I do walk fine. Prior to taking this Imodium, I hadn't eaten much, and I was standing up even yesterday, day before,
Yeah.
and almost passing out because I was so weak. I'd stand up and I'd have to grab hold of something. I cannot fall. I cannot fall.
Well, if you know Ralph and you've seen him, you know, on videos, and when he gets out of a chair, he's just like he's already in a run, you know. And I said, you've got to stand up and give it a minute. But Shannon caught him Sunday.
Not literally.
Yeah, true, not literally. She almost did, but
I was,
you know, you can tell because he doesn't say anything. He just stands there, you know. And you're like, "Are you okay?" You know. And
you break out in a sweat. You get hot. You're thinking, you know what? I'm going down. Not that way today. Big turnaround.
well, we fed you steak and baked potatoes.
Oh, steak and baked
you know.
potato.
I said, if you're going to
was
have
so
it, you
good.
might as well eat something that you want.
Yeah, it was so
you
good.
know.
Yeah, so, but anyway, that's where we're at right now, and I'm hoping that every day is a little better. We go back to Dr. Wynn, babe.
August 21st, next
And see
Wednesday.
the surgeon.
A week from this Wednesday.
Right, and we start rehab the 27th of August.
Well-
Cardiac rehab, exercise, and that kind of thing.
One thing I want to say is, Kathy, thank you for the grumpy pants. He's wearing his
One of the gifts that Grandpa got that was sexy pajama pants. These were sent to him by one of our Doss Farms family members. And she just wanted to make sure that she didn't insult him. And I said, you won't be insulting him. Trust me.
Grandma chose grumpy. Pretty sure of that. No, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it.
And they look so good with those bright yellow socks that came home from the hospital.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, no, those things, I've got 2 pair, and I just rotate them, don't I?
Yep, I wash them one pair every other day so
Yeah.
that he's always got some.
I don't know. I feel like I come over here, you know, I'm not living it like you guys are 24/7. And I will say that every day that I come over, it seems like you've improved in some way, shape, or form. This is huge. Pound and a half.
So too.
The walking has improved. You know, you were very ginger the first day that I saw you, and now you're much more like up. If you need to go down the hall and use the restroom, you just do it. So I will say that you're blowing my mind on this recovery, and Mom and you are the perfect team. And I'm just very happy. I think we're very blessed, and I
I think we are too.
appreciate all
Very.
the prayers out there. And God
Thank
is
you all
great.
so much.
And the cards and the letters and I have read every one, and
Yeah.
he's going to read them too. They are amazing, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate the ones that made comments. Maybe didn't mail a card, you made comments. I'm reading comments now, and I'm trying to. I think this last video I actually caught up. Now I'm sure there's been some added since then, but
Well, when I'm doing emails and Facebook Messenger and Instagram and whatever else, a lot of mine are just hearts and thank yous. I don't have the ability yet to type anything out long. It's not up here yet. I can't do it. So forgive me for that. But if I give you a heart, that means I read it. And you know, some of you are requesting prayer also, and we still got that. We're still prayer partners, okay, for others that are going through stuff. So we still got that. I appreciate you guys just sticking with us. You know, I knew this would be. You're always concerned when you break that rhythm. You know, it's not like I'm the face of Grandpa Doss Farms or
you
make
are
it
the face of Grandpa
make it
Doss
go.
Farms.
But you know, and it's not an ego trip. It's just that you just hope and pray that people will.
So you haven't
Understand.
watched any of the videos, like, you know, you wanted to go live So if I told you we went live from the hospital, you haven't watched that, right?
Honey, I have not. I was so full of hot air. There was no way on God's green earth that I could have done a live. What was I thinking?
I don't know, but
What was I? I'm gonna do live. I told everybody, I'm gonna do live video. There is no way you do a live video from that hospital.
well, I was already prepared because I was afraid you were going to ask me, and I was just going to fake it like I really had it going, but I
Yeah.
wasn't going to show anything because I'm telling you,
Yeah, it
just
was
wasn't
bad.
in any shape.
Yeah,
You're
it was
doing
much
what
bad.
everyone wants you to do. You don't have to feel any type of way or guilt or anything. You're doing exactly what everybody wants, which
All
is
the
just
comments.
Well,
all
the
comments
response-
are, look, don't worry about
Don't worry
even
about this, don't worry
responding.
about
just,
that.
I know,
Yeah, just
I
get
know, and-
better, and we appreciate it.
Every day gets a little better, and I don't know when I'll be able to walk down there, and I just don't know.
Now, I do right here in front of God and everyone and all of our Doss Farms family members, I do want a promise out of you that if we have the goats and the dogs trained pretty well to where they're not jumping on us and they're not expecting treats every 5 seconds, you're going to continue with that.
I have already heard some things that have been a little bit altered. Trust me, I'm not griping, and there isn't anything that is a negative. They're actually good things. So I'm going to learn something when I go back out there from these two that I think will make my job easier when I go back out, because I am a horrible, horrible disciplinarian when it comes to those animals.
Well,
You know?
you're also going to learn that me and Mom are not that great at cleaning chicken coops.
Well, I haven't
Yeah,
heard
you
that
know my way of cleaning, I'd go buy new vinyl and put it on the bottom of the floor,
Yeah.
rip that out of there.
I just hope the animals remember me when I go down there, and they don't, you know.
They will. I do my
haven't-
best grandpa impression.
Yeah, I haven't touched any of them. I look at them on camera and all. But I cannot linger. I try to watch Grandma when she goes down there by herself, follow her on camera. But
You
I
think
can't,
those animals are going to forget you in 2 months?
probably.
No.
But I
They've all
can't.
been asking me where he's at.
Yeah.
You stare at them
I'm
through
like,
the
you
window.
weren't good enough. Grandpa's not coming back down
Yeah.
till you are.
They stare at you too. You're fine.
Yeah,
I put cameras down there for them to watch you. So it's all good, man.
yeah. So
You just keep recovering and
I will.
getting better.
I
And
am. God has been really good, and I think this has been it is a blessing that, just like with Grandma's surgery, how things went down, how they found that mass, how they removed it, her recovery. It had to happen through events that God put in our way to make us go do stuff, take a test, and that's kind of how it has been with this, the same way. I can go back, a long time ago and see how things have progressed. Hindsight, God, I understand things backward. What is that? What do I say?
Live life forward.
Understand it backwards.
Yeah.
And that is certainly how it's been here. Because Ralphie boy never thought this would be him. I never did. So I have a whole new appreciation and understanding for people who have had open heart surgery, and some of them multiple. And oh my land sakes alive, you go in the shower and you got to sit in a chair. Are you kidding me?
I second all this because
You
I
know?
didn't think you and Mom would ever go through this kind of a
You
year
know,
again. I think you're doing awesome. I
I'm
think you're
tired.
both
I've said
doing
more
awesome.
words than whatever than I've had in
Yeah,
2
we
weeks.
started this and you said, I'm not going to do all the talking.
Yeah.
Well, some things just don't change,
We're glad.
no matter
We're
what.
glad to hear that.
I make a lot of jokes, but in all seriousness, I think you're doing great. Everybody
know.
thinks you're
I
doing
know,
great.
buddy.
Okay.
I know, buddy.
Love you.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you, Mom. Love all
parents ever.
the boys, the grandkids, everybody. Our family's been wonderful. So, and you've been wonderful, Doss family, extended
Yeah,
Doss family,
Amazing.
always and forever. Thank you. God bless you.
Love you.
I'll be back on sometime.
When you feel like it, we'll do this.
We'll do something again. I'll figure something out. Maybe on
But
the
I'm going to
porch.
show you all the stuff lined up on the table. Not the cards, because I just got through reading them and they're in a stack. So I'm not going to display all those, but I'm going to show you what was sent. And it's unbelievable.
I'm looking at it right now. It just blows me away.
Some of the things we weren't able to show last time was somebody always sends wormies, and the
Cat
Cheerios.
food.
yeah, cheeroos, the dog food. I mean, we had all of that too, but it was out in the garage, and I felt bad because we didn't show it.
Thank you guys. All of
Thank
you.
y'all. God bless.
Yes, God bless. Praying for
Until
you
next
guys, too.
time.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.
I did the rock and love, but I guess this is rock and talk, so it's just bye.
Hey, don't mess up my videos. You got your own.
That's what I'm here for, just to mess it up. Love you guys.